All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I am so grateful to be here recording again. For all you beautiful souls who are listening, thank you so much. Thank you for comments, anything of that nature. Like I always start this off with is we're going to take a deep breath for those new people, or if you're just listening, I count to three, take a deep breath in, and we blow it out, and we just center ourselves because our power is in the now. It's not in the future, it's not in the past, it's right now. And you stay here, and I'm telling you, you will get something out of it, even if it's a little nugget just to tweak your perspective. That's all you need, right? There's a reason why you're here. The universe wants you here. So I'm going to count to three. 1, 2, 3. Take that deep breath in and blow it out. And let's do another one. 1, 2, 3. Take that deep breath in. And blow it out. Feel good. I'm telling you, it's like just taking those 2 deep breaths every time just mellows you out and gets you ready and gets you in here and now. So what I want to talk to you about today is something I've been noticing, and it's something where it has been like I haven't been recording like I should be, and I've just been going through transformation basically. And one thing I've noticed, and one thing I've been, going back and forth in my head, is about how to give myself to you folks, right? To whoever is listening, whoever will listen, right? And for me, the greatest thing that I always want to do, or at least people to know, is that I'm being 100%. Like, I'm not being like, oh, I'm going to portray this to you, right? And then I'm not doing the work myself. I'm not saying perfect, but I'm not doing the work myself. I don't want to be seen as this thing that is just like trying to make money only and not really care about what I'm here for. Because I'm here to heal. That is the goal, right? Like, I'm here to help those who want to heal, to give them the tools, to help them along, and to encourage them to build that type of community, right? But also have them realize that they have the power within themselves, and not to depend on me, but just look at it as a resource, right? Like, we're all resources, majority of us, right? If we're really tapping into our higher selves and really going in, vibrating on a high frequency. And as I was thinking about that, and I watch other people, right? Because like, healers need healers. That's something I learned, right? I was always thinking, oh, okay, well, if I can't do all this on my own, then I can't, then I shouldn't be, training anyone. I shouldn't be help coaching anyone and things of that nature. And I'm just giving you insight into like people's mindsets, right? Whether you want to do this or whether you're already doing this, you probably already know this. So the one thing that I want to discuss today, though, was beware of the hustler spirit. Okay? Beware of the hustler's spirit. Because I think we don't talk about this enough, and you hear it so much in mainstream, right? Like, oh, I'm hustling. And it's like, oh, you gotta hustle, 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 and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that. But really, that's just the spirit of lacking. That's just the spirit of lack. That's just the spirit of insecurity. Understand that. See, because a lot of people will try to play it off like, oh, I'm after my coins and all this stuff. We are in a new phase of life. The coronavirus has hit us in a different way, and I'm excited for it. I know that might not sound great to some of you out there, because you're like, oh, I lost this family member and I lost this and I'm struggling. Look, I done lost it all before. I done lost it all before. So trust me, I understand. I know it doesn't feel good, but this is why we do the inner work. This is why we do the inner work, because it's not meant for everyone. It's not easy, right? Like that's why we're trapped. That's why you feel the pain, because you're still stuck in your humanity. You're still stuck in your humanity. Humanity is over. This was a transition shift for your consciousness. Look at everything about human life. Our jobs are going away. Less and less well-paying jobs. More and more, like, we really don't connect, and I'm a part of that. But whenever I have a chance to connect with people, I connect with them. Like, one of my strengths is being a person that is able to observe, and I'm very observant. I'm always paying attention. I'm always watching. That's why I love being a teacher. Like, couldn't get anything past me. I'm always catching it. Even when you don't even think I'm catching it, I'm catching it. That's how I used to be a kid. Like, I still know stuff that probably my family don't even think I know, because I was always listening, always around. Right? But it's important for you to understand this. But it's important. And as you start to observe what's going on, you will start to see that those who are aligning up spiritually are going to be the ones who are really doing well in this coming lifetime. It's no longer just physically working hard. Yeah, my grandmother and my mother and them and my great grandmother and their generation, yeah, it was about hard work. And if you understand numerology, they had the age of determination. So that's why you always hear them always talking about, oh, you just gotta work hard. You just gotta work hard. You just gotta work hard. Because that was that energy, right? That's why I say everything is energy. It's energy. And the hustler spirit and energy is not something that is going to suffice. Look at all those people. Like, I remember growing up, right? And I was a big hip hop fan, like anybody else probably around my time growing up, because it was like the biggest music genre of that time. Definitely now, but I mean, like, real hip hop. And I remember just growing up listening to Jay-Z, Tupac, I mean, you name it, Snoop Dogg. 50 Cent was like my favorite artist in 8th grade. You had Nelly, because I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago, if you don't know that. And so, just artists in Chicago, we listen to everybody. Twisted, Common, Kanye. Like, it was everybody. So whenever you see these people, and I remember watching like MTV Cribs, and they were always just showing off all all this nice stuff, right? Come to find out, they didn't really, half of them didn't even own it. They just rented it just to show, like, oh yeah, I got this money. But the point is, they were always talking about like hustling and different things of that nature. And it was always like, that was like, yeah, I'm just hustling. I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to get this money. But when you really think about that spirit always is in a state of, or energy of, not having enough. Do you really want to be in a spirit of not having enough? Do you really want to be in an energy zone where you just feel like it's just not enough? It's a simple and easy question, but it's very powerful when you sit down and ask yourself. And I got tired of just, I gotta hustle, always doing this, always doing. Now, this coronavirus has been a blessing. This has been a blessing to me. And I want you to be aware of this hustler spirit within what we would call the enlightened community, the spiritual community, whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of people who are still on that frequency. They're still on that frequency, and you have to be wary of those types of people, because some of them are just there for the money. They're just there for the money. Like, I literally have seen people in the spiritual community who, that are, that you can listen to, and they're really like, they will only do work if they're getting paid for it. How could we call ourselves healers and someone who is in need, and you like, oh, well, if you ain't got the money, then I'm not going to give you services? I understand that, because we do have to pay bills. But at the same time, come on now. What you give out is what you get back. So when you see someone in need, it's not always about what you can get out of it. But best believe, when you are giving, you are sending out a signal of not a hustler's mentality, but of someone who has abundance. See, I think that we have gotten, see, like, this is why it takes me so long to really just even commit, because I want to be so careful with not getting capitalism caught up in spirituality. There's nothing wrong with making money, but the way we make money in this system is very oppressive, and it's very not really focused on the well-being of others. That's why it's just mass production, right? Of everything. Overproduction of nature, of products and everything. And now we wondering why this is the time. Like, look, take this time to look around and see what's going on. The hustlers, that hustlers energy has gotten us to this point where it's breaking down, where we no longer care about what we're producing, where we no longer care about how many people are here, or like, can we even, provide for this, and what type of lifestyle and quality of life are we providing for people here? What are we doing to the planet? What are we doing to ourselves? The hustlers' energy made it where grapes are no longer grapes. Like, man, side note, I'm just gonna let you know. Like, I like grapes, seeded grapes. They usually like the purple ones, or like kind of reddish. And I went to the store, Kroger's, yesterday, and they no longer really, like, you really gotta search for those grapes. It's so sad. Please believe, if your food does not have some type of seed in it, it is not real. I'm not here to tell you to go vegan or any of that, but I'm just letting you know, if your food doesn't have a seed in it, then it is not real. It's genetically modified. And the fact that I remember growing up, being 6, 7 years old, and being able to find, like, my grandmother would just go and get those, and that's what we used to eat with the seeds. Just the grapes had seeds. I didn't know about no seedless grapes like that. There was always seeds in them. And now, all of a sudden, we don't even have that. All of them are seedless. But it's because of this hustler's energy. Because someone is trying to mass produce, right? And trying to make more and more and more and more, because I need more and more and more and more. How have you emulated this type of energy? You see it all the time, whether you go to college, school, like education, whether it's music, whether it's, literature. The movies, the arts and entertainment and stuff, like it's everywhere. And it's keeping us off balance of who we truly are. And we need to be aware of that. And we need to pull back on that. I always used to say this, like, what's yours is yours, and what's not, so what? It's not yours. You will never have it. Right? If Beyonce was meant to be with me, I would be with Beyonce. If not, probably not going to have her. So there's no need for me to sit up here every day dreaming about Beyonce. Right? Like, that's the type of energy you have to be in. I don't even want Beyonce, but I'm just giving you an example, right? Like, that's the goal. Like, it's just like what's yours and where you are is meant for you. Some of us are meant to go through it. Sometimes you're like, well, I'm going through it. And I have to be a hustler. I have to. No, sometimes when you're doing something and you stay in that energy, it keeps just whatever you send out to the universe is what you're going to get back. Whatever you send out is what you're getting back. So you might be like, well, I'm working these 2-3 jobs because I got to. Imagine if you started just to work on your energy, right? Doesn't mean you got to quit your jobs. But you start to work like you start to build that energy within yourself, within your subconscious, that you already have it. Right? Like, it took me a while. Like, I'm not rich in terms of the physical sense, right? Like, I could go to my bank account and look, and I'd be like, have like 100,000 I could just blow. Like, no, not right now. Right? But I do feel like everything is always working out for me. I carry that type of energy. I don't really care about the number, but I care about like that freedom, that bliss, that type of state of mind. That's the type of state of feeling. Cause I wasn't making any money. I lost my job to this COVID-19 garbage. And you know what? It was the greatest blessing. The greatest blessing. And maybe now, if you take the time, because I'm looking at all this stuff. It's like you see people fight. I want to go back to work. You want to go back to slave wages? You don't want this sucker to maybe fall a little bit and maybe have to recalibrate and say, what are we doing to ourselves? We just want to go back to being normal. And normal was in ignorance and of slavery. See, you got to realize this shift, and this ain't going to be for everybody. Some people might dislike this if you get to listen to this. Everybody ain't coming along. Right? Everybody ain't coming along. It's like the school field trips. You remember the kids that used to might have qualifications to go on the school field trip. Like you had to get something signed, and then you had to have you just had to have good behavior, And I know some other people used to have different stuff like school trips, like if you sold a certain amount for a fundraiser or something like that. Like everybody didn't make the qualifications, so everybody didn't get to go. Or if you didn't get the money in time, right? I remember because I didn't go on every field trip. And this is the exact same thing. So while you're worried about my family, my this and my that. Look, this might be the chance for you to really change your life and get rid of those people that will actually probably ruin it if you keep them around. Just being honest. Sometimes you have to understand, we were brought here in families, and they were supposed like a host family, basically. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to stay with them forever. I'm not here to tell people to separate from their families, but you got to understand, When you on a different mindset and a different plane of energy, you got to go away from that. Doesn't mean you hate them. Doesn't mean you hope they die, right? You don't hope for the worst for them. But you understand, like, look, I'm on a different journey. And if you truly love someone, you allow them to go on that journey. It's not no hustler's mentality. It's a mentality of just confidence and care and gratitude and being secure about yourself. Beware of the hustler's energy, because too many people are stuck in that mentality. And that's the reason why a lot of things aren't getting done, because most people don't want to fight against the nonsense of the world just to get something that they'll realize doesn't really even mean anything. The physical world, like, this is all a facade. It's a holographic type of thing, right? Like, we have to, like, imagine that you're so powerful that you could just change this. But you can't change what you're seeing in your external selves if you won't simply and easily do the inner work. You need to recognize that you have to undergo a transformation, and it will lead you to a place that you never thought you would be in, that will be new, that will be fresh. This is where we are. Like, I look at right now as a beautiful time. But I had to build myself up, and I've been building myself within first. And I'm still working on me. I'm still struggling, right? And not in a sense that I'm struggling, but I'm growing. I'm learning how to grow. And you can't do that with a hustler's mentality, because a hustler's mentality never allows you to relax and be okay with yourself. It's always saying, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, that's never enough. Do you really want to be that way? Like, I just want you to think about that. Could you imagine someone nagging you constantly, saying like you're never enough? No, you got to do more. Oh, that's wrong. Like, oh, how could you figure out to do it better? Every second of your day. We look at this and see it as something that's cool. It's not cool. But when we are not trained to think for ourselves, we just accept it. And then we repeat this nonsense, and we don't even look at it and be like, do I really agree with this? And if I agree with it, in what ways do I agree with it? How has it really helped my life? And then sometimes you think it's helping your life, but it's really not. You cannot get what is not yours. I'm going to repeat that. You cannot get what is not yours. It's that simple. I don't care if you thought that you couldn't get that thing that you now have. It was always meant to be yours. It was about you changing your mentality. You cannot get what is not yours. So don't let this old fake hustler's energy and spirit trap you into this world, in this matrix, where then you lose out on the joy of life. You lose out on what you really meant to be doing. This is the time where creativity is gold. Your creativity is gold. Your inner work is your wealth. Your gratitude is your wealth. Your compassion is your wealth. Money is not going to mean what it is right now 10 years from now. You can already see that. They print money like it's nobody's business. Does it really even mean anything? Like, I have to think about this probably, like, I recognize this like maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. Because I just started noticing, like when we put our money in the banks, like they take it and then you can't even get out all your money, first off, because most places you can only take out about $2,500 to $3,000 in one day. If you're trying to take out 10, let's say you're trying to take out 10, 15, 20, 30, $40,000, you like literally have to request that. You have to request your money from the banks because they don't keep your money at the banks. They take your money and go and invest it. That's why they don't allow you to do that. Right? Money is literally just digits on a computer. It's digits on a computer. That's why I used to get frustrated as all get out. Just like with it takes 3 to 4 days to process. I'm like, it's on a computer screen. They're not literally taking the physical money and shipping it to another place. Like, no, it's all digits. It's all fake. And we go for it. This is the time for us to change reality. It's up to us. It ain't going to be everybody. Please believe it's not going to be everybody. So while you sitting up here trying to save everybody, you probably are doing a detriment. It's a detriment to yourself and what we're here for, to shift consciousness. Not everybody needs to come along. And that's something that as you get in this spiritual game, like we come in and everybody want to kumbaya and all this. That's cool. That's cool. But you realize like that's a part of the hustle as well. I'm going to sell you just the feel good, but I'm not going to really allow you to know what's the real truths of this universe. What is the real truths? Because I want you to really pay attention to spirituality. I want you to really pay attention to this stuff and who's in it. And how do they look? And where do they live? And what are they really doing? Because you see people that talking about, I was listening to someone, his name is Bobby Hemmett. And he was like, if meditation was so powerful, which it is, but he said, we got 2 million people saving the earth and all this stuff. Why do we still see the chaos? When you see all these people, let's go meditate on one day, but then nothing really shifts, you got to start to ask questions. Doesn't mean that meditation is not good, but then you got to really start to ask questions about what are they teaching? And is there other information? Is there another part to that teaching? Because we're here to set justice. That's what we're here to do. We're here for justice. And justice does not mean everybody is kumbaya. That's what I'm here for. So if you're here, you definitely an empath, you definitely a healer of some form, and we're here for justice. And it's not always pretty. Right? In order for healing to take place, something has to break down. War is about breaking down. War is purging. See, war is spiritual as well. Right? But since we use it, since people that are in power are using it in the wrong way, we have the wrong mentality about it. Right? Because again, it's all built off of the hustlers' energy. If I can go to war and get their oil, make more money. Constantly stay in war. Stay in this fear of state. This state of fear. This is what this is all about. So be aware of this hustler spirit, because it comes in its energy, because it's in so many different aspects. When you see someone and they constantly, there's nothing wrong with publishing a lot on YouTube, but Listen to what they're doing. Are they giving you resources to go to, or are they just telling you stuff? See, I'm about look at these books. This is just a kind of just telling you be aware of it. It ain't no books really written on be aware of the hustler's energy, right? There's a lot of books you can read that tell you about this, that you can get this sense of being, right? But there's no book on directly this. But if I'm talking about something, I'm gonna give you some books. I'm gonna lead you to one or two books, and just based off of that, a easy go to, especially if you're new to this, check out Abraham Hicks' book, Ask and It Is Given. A very great book. Sometimes I have to go back to it. Sometimes I need to, go back just to the basics, because sometimes we get lost. Start to speed up too much. So understand this. That's one book that you could read, right? Another book that you could read that would really help you with this. I like, what was his name? Can't remember his name, but I'll definitely write it in the comment box. But he definitely had a different perspective. Even if you want to read Dr. Wayne Dyer, he has some insightful stuff. You could read The Art of War. Very great book to read. Very spiritual. Understanding this stuff. What else was a good book? The Tao. To read The Tao. The Tao is a very, very spiritual book that you could read, that you could get into and start to understand. The Book of Enoch. And I think it's by R.H. someone, but the Book of Enoch. And that's Enoch. You could read that book. You could learn about the 42 laws of Mayat. Right? Like, these are things that are super old, thousands upon thousands of years old, that you can now get the real information and start to piece it together, because everything is not just in one book. He who knows one book knows nothing. Right? He who knows only one book knows nothing. This is, you have to become a researcher. And if you're not willing to become a researcher, then you're putting your hands into someone else's life. You're putting your life into someone else's hands, right? And you don't want to do that. I advocate that you become a researcher. You might not have to research as much, right? But you have to become that person and know your own information and know what works for you. Because there's a lot of people who's just trying to do the hustler energy, and they just playing on all the little social conditioning little things that we have going on, whether that be with your race, with your spirit, with your how we are trained to think, whether that has to do with your sexuality and all this other nonsense. Right? Whether it deals with your class and making you feel happy or not, and not challenging you to become better and making you see, like, you know what, I gotta do better. Because I see a lot of people that want to play the kumbaya because they don't want their world to change and be fair and just to everyone. And that's why you're seeing what you're seeing right now, the chaos. That's why you're seeing people like, I don't know what I'm doing. Either you better tap inside or you're going to tap out. That's how it's going. Either you're going to tap inside or you're going to tap out. Get your life together. Right? This is the time to do it. So, I love you. Thank you for listening. I'm going to wrap it up. And all the information is in the description box. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you want to donate. I appreciate anything that you do, whether you just like it, whether you share it, comment. I'm all for it. I thank you. And I will talk to you on the next episode. Thank you.